We've got an exciting segment coming up. We are here to talk tourism, which we know is a bridge-building force, which is something we need in our world today. And don't forget, we're all tourists, and I'm personally very excited for it because I grew up in a tourism town. So I want to say a big thank you to our sponsor for today, Tourise, which is an important platform you're going to be hearing more about in this next discussion. And now please welcome to the stage the Minister for Tourism for Saudi Arabia and the Chairman of Tourise, Ahmed Al-Khateeb. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Now, I've just said tourism is a bridge-building force. But tell me, it touches everything. Why should other industries not just care, but prioritize collaboration with travel and tourism? And what value do you see in those sort of investments?
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Tourism is a very interesting topic. First, it represents 10% of the global economy. Second, it also represents 10% of the global jobs, or 357 million jobs. 45% of them are women, 80% are youth. But it's a very, very important industry. And it drives fun when we take a vacation or we go, on holidays, we enjoy what we do. I think it's a very positive industry. In Saudi Arabia, we started late. We have a beautiful country. I don't want to sell Saudi Arabia. Most of you know. In the past, Saudi Arabia is the largest oil producer. Saudi Arabia produces petrochemicals, very strong in financial services. But today, Saudi Arabia is large and big in art, culture, entertainment, sport. Yeah, Cristiano is playing there. And he's enjoying living in Riyadh. And also, we're big in tourism. And I was asked in many occasions, not today, because people now understand Vision 2030 after 10 years. We launched the Vision 2030 10 years ago. After 10 years, they understand Vision 2030 and why we have Vision 2030. But in the past, they were asking, why bother? You have a lot of oil. Why you try to unlock or introduce new sectors like tourism? I said, we have a lot of assets. We have a lot of, advantages, beauty, and so on and so forth. And one of them is the tourism, and in order to go to any destination, you want to enjoy the beauty, the nature, the history, learn about the history, and enjoy the hospitality of any destination and the food of any destination. And therefore, when you go to Saudi Arabia, we presume that we represent the Arabian culture. When you go to the East, you learn about the Eastern culture. When you come to the West, you learn about the Western culture. But if you want to learn about the Arabian culture, which is slightly different, please do come to Saudi Arabia. You will enjoy the food. You will enjoy served by the local people. They are very anxious to serve our guests whenever they come to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is very safe and secure, and safety and security today for travelers is important. And therefore, in Saudi Arabia, it's safe and secure, and you can't find a better spot in the world if you are a diver to dive in the Red Sea and to discover the beauty under the water. I go there always. I love it. And if you are seeking a history and heritage, don't miss the peace of mind in Al Ula. After Davos, I advise you to go Al Ula to disconnect, because I saw my schedule today, and I found that every day I have like 20 meetings back to back, and I booked to go to Al Ula on Friday. Yeah, I'll stay there for 2
No
nights.
scarves necessary. Now, Your Excellency, I'm glad you mentioned the safety and security aspect, because that's an example where great travel experiences, everything's smooth sailing, it's wonderful on the surface, but it doesn't happen by accident. It needs infrastructure, it needs secure borders, it needs visa systems, it needs investment. So tell me, what do you think are the best ways for governments and the private sector to collaborate to develop all that behind-the-scenes work that makes a beautiful tourism and travel experience?
Yeah, safety and security doesn't come by chance. You have to have really the regulations that prevent people from conducting or misconducting, or, this is one. Second, it's a culture. When you go to a country where employment numbers are very low, like Saudi Arabia, you expect that country is safer than a country with a very high unemployment rate. When you go to any country, not only Saudi Arabia, with a higher income per capita, you expect that country is safer than a country with a lower income per capita. And when you go to a country where government spend more on safety and security of the people, you expect safety is higher than a country that does not prioritize safety and security. And therefore, safety and security is very important for travelers. You go to a destination to enjoy, not to spoil your trip with an incident that could happen to any of us when we go to destinations. It is not fair when you go to any destination to think twice if you want to go after midnight, if you want to go out after midnight. When I go to a destination, I don't want to think about safety and security. I want to think about what I can do in this destination. How can I enjoy more? But unfortunately, this is a fact that we cannot escape from. Some big cities are facing kind of challenges when it comes to safety and security of the people. And
now another issue, you don't want to be crowded out when you go to one of your favorite spots. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you about over-tourism, because we have a situation in the world where something like 5% of the world's tourism destinations take 70% of the world's visitors. And then you have all of these beautiful locations around the world which don't get enough tourists. So how can we, and how does Tourise work to rebalance that and manage that gap between the under-touristed and the over-touristed places?
That's very interesting. I don't think we have an over-tourism. I always tell my colleagues in the World Travel and Tourism Council and the United Nations Tourism Agency, I think we have a mismanagement of traffic. Why everybody, when they go to Spain, go to Barcelona? Why they go to Barcelona at the same time? Why Barcelona is complaining about over-tourism? I think, you need to, there is another beautiful cities in Spain, why you consolidate everything in one city? Like Paris, 90% of the 100 million who travel to France, they stay in Paris. Because they decided they should not complain about. I told my friend, the minister, you should not complain because you decided to put everything in Paris. The shopping, the Mona Lisa, the restaurants,
Not the Mona Lisa anymore, but.
But this is a very important sector. We need to be very careful, because if we look at the numbers today, published by the UN Tourism yesterday, 1.5 billion people traveled in 2025 only, out of 7.5 billion world population. This is just 20% of the world population. Imagine, they are saying, the UN Tourism is saying, it is projected to grow to 2 billion. We will add 500 million in the next 5 years. If we're complaining today with only 20% of the target audiences or the people who can travel, what if this number grew to 3 billion or 4 billion? Then we'll be in a crisis.
Well, Your Excellency, we need your advice then. So how will we take lessons from those most successful tourism destinations? So the people who know how to do it, what lessons should they give to other destinations?
What we did in Saudi Arabia, we started late, but we're learning from other successes, not mistakes. I wouldn't say failure or mistakes. They are been very successful. But instead of concentrating all our objects, attractions in one cities, we try to spread the attractions among now 10 cities, main cities. If you will go to history and heritage, you will visit the Dir'iyah and Riyadh, the home of the government of the royal family of Saudi Arabia that was established 300 years ago, and you will fly to Al Ula and enjoy the city where the Nabatean were settled 3,000 years ago. And you will, if you want to go to enjoy the mountains, there are three cities, Taif, Baha, and Abha, where Abha, 7 million people visited Abha last summer. It's a big destination. And if you want to enjoy the long coast of the Red Sea, you don't go only to Jeddah. You go to Jeddah, you go to the Red Sea, and you go to the north. And therefore, we spreaded the destination. However, they have to plan for the future. The numbers said 80% of the 1.5 billion people, the McKinsey research that was published 2 years ago, 80% of the global travelers traveled only to 20% of the countries in the world. Why is that? Because of connectivity, accessibility. If you want to travel to the beautiful Palau in the Pacific, there were 2 flights a week. I cannot go there and got stuck there. I told the Prime Minister, I visited Palau last year and year before because of business, etc. But
you just had to stay an extra week. You didn't have a choice.
No, I was flying private jet. Otherwise, I got stuck there.
Well,
I got stuck there. But you know, Cook Islands and Salmon Islands, and the connectivity is not there. There might be an issue of security and safety of the travelers, and availability of proper nice hotels. And therefore, you know, we are trying to push the smaller cities and countries to follow, for example, the Maldives experience. Maldives created a destination from nothing, and they are now very successful. 80% of their economy is based on tourism. And therefore, you know, we have a big role. We cannot prevent people to travel. They will continue to travel, but we want to make sure that the destinations and the countries are ready to cater for the future travelers.
Your Excellency, we're going to have to travel off the stage, unfortunately, to
Thank
bring
you.
our next guest on. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you to Tourise. There are iPads on the tables if you are interested in learning more, coming to the next conference in 2027. Sign up on one of those iPads. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Appreciate it.